our newborns, our elders, our veterans. And today, Grandfather, as we go throughout the day, I ask that you be with us today. Be with us and help us make that right decision for our people. And I pray for all the ones that are out there traveling. They all get safe, go back safe to their families. And I ask you all these things in the Creator's name, amen. All right. Okay, we have a set of minutes. Take a few minutes to take a look at those. All right, motion by Jimmy to approve the minutes with corrections. Second by Mike. Any further questions, changes? All in favor? Four approved, 3 abstain. Did you get that, Abby? The abstains are Terry, Ellie, and Carol.
Thank you.
Let's take a few seconds to look at today's agenda. I have one issue I would like to discuss with council and executive. Anyone else? Jennifer? Anyone else? Motion by Mike to approve the agenda with the additions. Second by Ellie. Oh, Carol. Second by Ellie. All in favor? Opposed, same. Motion carries. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do this morning is we'll start out with the council issues. We're going to go into executive, and then we'll call y'all back in to get back. And so I will need a motion for approval for the application of Miss, what's the first name? Monique Grant. Motion by Jennifer, second by Ellie. All in favor? Oppose? And I'll abstain. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, then we'll need a motion to approve the resolution, authorizing the addition of the blood quantum of Justine LaValle and her descendants. Motion by Mike. Second by Jennifer. All in favor? Opposed, same. Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good job, you guys.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yep. Okay, moving right along. Who's next, Jennifer?
Scott Johnson, and he's online.
Scott Johnston. Okay. Scott, are you there?
Yes, good morning.
All right. Go ahead, Scott.
Good morning, Council. This is, what I brought today was a request to get the chairman's signature on a letter relating to the MDT US 93 Ronan North project. It's the reevaluated final supplemental environmental impact statement letter that goes to the federal highways in Helena. And this letter addresses, I think, 6 changes that are in the NEPA document, the evaluation. And then it requires signatures from MDT, the tribal chairman, and another federal highway person. Is there any questions about this letter?
Okay. Yeah, this is pretty much a formality that we typically go when we're addressing the many changes on the NEPA process.
Yeah, it's a typical change.
Okay. Motion by Carol to approve the chairman's signature on the letter to MDOT. Second by Mike. Questions, comments? All in favor? Opposed, same. Motion carried.
Right, great.
All right, thanks, Scott.
thank
Do we have a copy of that letter here?
Yeah, I'll just make sure it's the final, because what I got was that it was listed as a draft, but I think that was pending our comments if we had any, but we didn't have any after our review.
Okay.
So I'll get the final, make sure it's the final before we sign it. It'll come around through MDT signature process.
All right, sounds good, Scott.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Well, that was a simple one. All right, moving right along.
I believe Barry's here for Les Everett.
The new and improved Les Everett.
Thank you, Tribal Council. I'm here to request your approval to pursue funds for enhancing or supporting our lake trout suppression program on Flathead Lake. We're requesting the funds from the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation. And as you know, lake trout suppression is supported by SKQ mitigation primarily, but it's an expensive program and we need to pursue other funds whenever we can. We of course have native fish keepers, which brings in roughly $120,000 per year, but overall costs are much greater than that. So we grab these grants wherever we can. And this is one opportunity that we are pursuing now for almost $80,000 to support one FTE and some equipment.
Okay. Barry, I know I've had tribal members asking me questions such as, if we can get fisheries to start providing us annual reports of the lake trout suppression program, like how many are being taken out annually, and just basic information like that. So if you guys can-
Absolutely, we'd love to do that.
yeah,
So
maybe
come back to council with a summary or,
you can do that, and also perhaps maybe get on the elders agenda and,
All right.
and provide that report. So
absolutely.
that'd be great.
Okay,
Okay, so you're requesting approval of a resolution requesting assistance from the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation. Motion by Mike, second by Jimmy. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Opposed, same. Motion carries. All right, Barry, we'll keep up the good work.
thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, Jennifer, who's next?
We got Dana. You want her?
Come on up, everybody. Don't be bashful. Good morning, Shannon. Is Jordan going to be joining us? Can you turn your mic on, Dana, please?
Is it on now?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I am Dana Hewanhorn, and I am the program manager for the Food Sovereignty Pilot Project. And I've been on since September, and it's been an exciting, really important topic that I've been pretty passionate about for a long time. So I'm really excited to do this for the tribes. And it's been interesting and fun trying to get to full staff and get just the logistics of the building up to what it needed to be doing, and it's still a work in progress, but that's where we're at. And I'm really excited that we're at full staff. So I will do a brief introduction. We'll probably go backwards on how we're doing this because Jordan had some things.
Okay, Dana, before we move forward, I want to congratulate you on your new job. And I also really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the work that you've done in Elmo.
Oh, thank
You've
you.
made a huge impact to numerous families over there with all of the activities that you've done over there, and I know you're not going to stop, but I just wanted to acknowledge that to you. You need to hear that because you did make a difference.
All right, thank you. I'm going to turn right back on over to Jordan so we can get back in order. I just sort of started.
All right, thanks for joining us, Jordan.
Yeah, you don't even need me anymore. We got our whole team, so that feels great. Well, good morning, Tribal Council. It's good to see everyone. And I'm not sure how far we got into introductions, but that's just so excited to introduce you to our food sovereignty team. So I'll hand it over to Dana to introduce everybody.
All right. So I'm the program manager, and we have Daryl Morris, who is our warehouse and delivery specialist. And
All right, welcome.
the longest food sovereignty employee. He was our glue, and he really was. He just does everything for us. Everything to say?
My name is Daryl Morris, and so far through this department or program, I've experienced a lot of things. And from the get-go, I had the opportunity to do food distribution. That was pretty exciting, something new to me. And my second opportunity was the appreciation. Jen and Jordan invited me to do that. That was pretty exciting. Then coming to the center, from the ground, from starting up from this past summer to today, myself, I think I've seen a major change. You know what I mean? We're able to actually sit down, start cooking, paint it. It's kind of upgraded a little bit. You know what I mean? So much. I kind of get nervous talking, so excuse me. So that's what I have right now. Sorry about
Okay,
that.
well, Daryl, welcome, and thank you for all the work that you've done with us so far, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
If I can just add one more thing, also, this is kind of crazy, but Daryl and his, on duty saves babies, if you want to tell him that story,
Oh.
Daryl.
Yeah, we need to hear that one.
So, the first storm, when was that, a week ago? There was a storm going and, we was on our deliveries to the elders for the food boxes and, we was going, or was coming up, I seen 6 wrecks that day. And on my last wreck that I seen, it was just turning off towards the center. This expedition flipped twice. And I told my coworker, I said, I gotta pull over and help. You know what I mean? Cause I was the first one on the scene and ran over there. And right when I was running over there, my heart dropped because I heard this baby. And I'm like, oh man, please don't be bad. You know what I mean? And go over there. The baby's like hanging off its, car seat and it's flipped over. And the mother's like, just grab my baby, just grab my baby. And I grabbed the baby, put it in my vest, zip up. And another guy came and I was like, telling the guy before he moved the lady, I was like, make sure that that she could move her fingertips and stuff. Cause you know, spines and backs and yeah, and like, and that was just a eye opener, man. I've never been shook. I've been shook twice when my baby was just a baby when she got sick. Then that was the second time of being shook. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I was like, wow.
All right. Good
He-
story. Good story. Good way.
He was
Yeah.
relieved of his delivery duties for the rest of the day.
All right.
Next, I have
Thanks,
Catherine. Catherine Inyas joined our staff yesterday, and she is our food operations coordinator.
Well, all right. Welcome, Kat.
Second day, so it's all.
All right. Well, welcome.
Thank
Welcome, Kat. We look forward to working with you and glad you're part of the team.
you.
Yes.
And we have the very special honor to have Shannon Burke,
Yes.
who's joined us via emergency hire. And I'm really excited about that because she's going to help us kind of get our bones just going and ready to go. You know, she has that years and years of institutional knowledge that's going to really get us going. So I'm excited to have her here to coax her out of retirement for a little bit.
Yes, we're very, very fortunate to have you on board, Shannon.
Well, I'm happy to help and I'm learning more about the program and I think it's a good thing. I'm only here just part-time and temporary. I'm just here to get their grants and contracts and all of that set up for them. And then Kat will be the one.
You're probably going to be here longer than you think, Shannon.
Oh, we'll
No.
see.
No, we have a great team here. Food sovereignty has been an initiative that we've been talking about for years and years. And now we're finally getting it off the ground. So we're very grateful for each and every one of you. And we look forward to watching you feed our people the proper foods that we all need, you know. So thank you all for the work that you guys do.
So I have some updates. So we have a winter food distribution going to happen. We have 2 weeks that we're going to do this. The first week will be after Christmas. There'll always be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So they'll be reservation wide. I'm going to go from the north and the south end to the center. So there's dates. I'll get those to you.
Okay.
And that's the Tuesday after Christmas, Wednesday and Thursday. And then the following one will be 2 weeks later, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I will be really looking forward to any kind of volunteerism we want to approach for that. If we want to, I'll get the dates to you.
Carol?
I was just curious, is there a chance for us to look at the list as council members? You know,
Oh, absolutely.
sometimes we may see an oversight or something, and we just like to make sure that our list probably for our communities are complete, yeah.
Yeah, so the communities I'm going to will be, I know the orders, so it'll go Hot Springs and Elmo the first Tuesday, Arlie the Wednesday, and then the Job Corps will be Thursday. And then 2 weeks later, it'll go Mission and Dixon the same day, Pablo, and then Polson. I think it's the days or Polson then Pablo. We're doing the bigger communities the last day.
Would you mind sending that?
Absolutely. Actually, we're
your-
doing a,
Your calendar, that
Mhm.
I can add it to my calendar, so if I
Absolutely.
get free time, I will.
absolutely, I'll send that today.
Carol's
We're
always
setting-
been good for that.
It's not going to household, it's just open to whoever.
It'll be like drive-throughs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if we could, like, maybe for that, put a request out for employee volunteers to come help with that in their towns and communities, that'll be really helpful, because I'm already thinking about moving 1,200 boxes, and I already hurt.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Dana. Perhaps we can, get an email out on everyone's email and get that out to all the employees, to ones that can,
Come help.
want to come help and deliver some of those
Yeah.
boxes, because 1,200 boxes, I mean, good Lord.
Yeah, change of duty or something.
Go ahead, Carol.
I know unless you're on the list for the elders program at DHRD, you don't get help, so in this situation.
Anybody,
you
travel
have-
members, they'll come in with their,
Over the age of, or is there no age?
we're 12, bring your travel ID, and I think we're gonna limit to about 4 per car if they come in, just to make sure we have enough to get through everybody. We added Folsom this delivery, but we didn't change the number. But I imagine Folsom people got boxes, so I'm hoping they won't have to drive as far. So it's my first big distribution. I did a lot of distributions just as a travel member with my turkeys in the back, but that was different. So this will be a first formal distribution, so I'm really hopeful it'll work well. And we'll be doing, the good, high quality organic foods. They're local. We're gonna add local eggs, and we're also gonna have a gift card from local stores, so people can. It's from the Mission, not the local, Western Montana Co-op is who we'll get our foods from.
Okay.
So there's that. So we're really looking forward to the first
happen.
food distribution.
And just so we all remember, this is going to be our third, we used to call it the holiday meal kits, and I know a lot of you have gone out and helped distribute these in the past, but it's just been really well received by the tribal membership, and so we started getting questions last year, hey, are we going to do that again? And so we did it last year with the first 2 years of the CARES Act funding. So this will be our third one with our Headwaters funding. So we're really excited to do our third one and our first one with staff. So just to remind folks.
Is this something we can get an article out on Chartreuse to get this information out there to the people?
Absolutely, it's already almost built. I want to, because we rely too much on social media. My dad doesn't get social media. He reads the paper.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have it out there for sure this week, probably next week.
Okay, Carol?
Jordan, you bring up a good point about the funding. It was a grant, now Headwaters. So what's gonna happen in the future? And is it a budget issue we need to appropriate for in the future? And the cost, I wanna know the cost of this one.
Roughly about $30 per box and then $25 per gift card. So we're looking at about $55 per box. And so I think when you put all that together, it's probably between $60,000 and $70,000.
Okay.
And so far, so good. I think we're in good shape with our funding now, and we're constantly looking for more streams of funding going forward. So
I like this because it's a direct service to the tribe. They see it actually happen. They get it in hand. It's not like, okay, well, there's a service available over here. You know, so thank you.
So I'll go to the building update. So the buildings, we had a lot of work done to it over time. Yesterday, I've been without a computer and just some of a phone. I've just been with a lot of things. So IT's been in there finally to get some stuff to eat. If any of you are on that one meeting I had with, I was coming from Barrow, Alaska. It was so cold. So we're working on all of those kind of logistical things with the building. It's really coming together finally, and it's going to be a really nice place to be when we get it to where we want it to be. We want to have an open house. And
Where's the building?
the old Kicking Horse Job Corps cafeteria.
Okay.
Yeah. There's going to be a new expenditure that's done through SNK Technologies. They're going to come kind of do some pretty major work this year that's been obligated, I hear. So I'll know more about that later. We are participating in some gardens this spring. So I participate in the Victory Gardens for Life, and that was pretty phenomenal. We, out of one garden, we had 4 this last year. As a volunteer
Yeah.
person, we pulled 4,000 pounds of food out of the SKC garden, and we
Wow.
did 4 of those gardens. Well, we're doubling that, and we're going to do 8 gardens, and I obligated some of our funding to create one at Job Corps. So Job Corps will be one of the new 4 ones, new of the 4 gardens, and I'm really excited for that opportunity. And we're bringing to a player to this partnership of multiple people and organizations. So we're hoping to develop some, to utilize some of that food with distribution to the people, because I kid you not, I had trouble getting rid of food. I couldn't go up to our garden in Elmo anymore because I couldn't pick another tomato. And it was hard. It was really hard for me, but it was a part of the lesson. So we're going to really get it better and better and better. If you imagine 4 gardens, 4,000 pounds of food, trying to get it out, that's a tough problem to
Yes,
have.
it is. I also noticed you were posting some canning classes too. that
I'm
you
going to
were
get all of
doing.
that too.
Yep.
So part of the gardens and education and food, when I read my job description, it talked about acquiring food, or what's the term? Procuring food. I thought, well, yeah, we need to buy food and get it to the people. My philosophy is we need to empower people to grow their own foods, gather their own foods, hunt their own foods, and do as much as they can to provide for themselves. So that's a big piece of food security and food sovereignty. So I also want to incorporate education and policies that will help have that happen. I will, when we get our kitchen fully up and running, I'm going to incorporate a monthly food. I call it a canning class, but it could be something else. It could be dry meat. It could be, we have a dehydrator, cutting meat, teaching people how to cut their own meat. All those kind of things, and encourage people to come to learn how to take care of their foods in a way that makes it shelf stable or store safely. All the things that we need to know how to do, so we don't have to go and look at the shelves at Walmart and hope the truck made it. The truck doesn't make it. In like 3 days, the truck quits coming. We're out of food, like I think is in 4 days if the trucks quit coming. So
4
we have
days.
to do what we can to empower people. We have the food, we have the water, the land, and we have the people. We can really provide a lot of food here.
Interesting.
So I will, because I'm an educator, I will learning to how to incorporate those kind of things. In the process of that, I'm really in the very beginnings of wanting to develop a policy for like an employment policy for similar to our physical fitness one, where if you participate in these victory gardens, where you're doing these community gardens, or you're participating in food security classes, that you can get like 1 hour of your time, 1 hour of work. But that's really in the beginning. It's rattling around up here because I really want to encourage people to work these gardens. I have only gardened for 4 years and I have grown a lot of food. So if I can do this, I can teach anybody to do it.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at, kind of with the gardens and education. I'm really excited, and I accidentally sent Jennifer the text a long time ago.
Dana, just out of curiosity, in regards to what's all in the food boxes in regards to protein, is there hamburger, chicken?
I wish. So that's what the food card is for.
Okay.
The grocery card, but in the future, we want to incorporate the wild game and those kind of things into it. I just don't think we have the time to get 1,200 pounds of food to add to this
Yep.
box right now. That's our game. I mean, we could probably buy it, but
All right.
yeah,
Mark,
but we have eggs.
Mark, you have a comment?
Yes, I'd just like to bring it to the attention of the food sovereignty in that I've been working with MSU Extension, and they actually have a grant that will pay for about 14 elk to be processed. And
We have a freezer.
I've already talked with Lytle Meats, and they will accept them. And it'll be covered for processing charges, which would go right back to food sovereignty is what our hopes are.
All
We're
right.
ready for it.
I need 12 hunters. I know 1 elk has been harvested so far. But I need at least 10 hunters to go out and bag 12 more cows throughout the reservation.
Okay.
I just need council permission to try to recruit that and give them a gas card voucher or anything like that, and I can get it filled for them.
All right, very
Yeah.
good.
For this one, yeah.
We would do elk or deer, it depends on what the group needs. But I do have the people, I have everything lined out for it, for the funding and everything. I just need the people to do it.
Okay. Just need to get the word out there then.
Yeah, I just need approval from them to make sure I'm not doing anything that's gonna be breaking any kind of fish and game policy. There are gas vouchers if, we can give our hunters gas vouchers on that from MSU Extension. It's all underneath the grant.
Okay. All right, thanks, Mark. Appreciate that. Maybe even the native fish keepers will even throw some fish in there too.
You always
What
keep
do?
jumping ahead on my report.
Sorry about that, Dana. Go ahead.
So, so with the policies, we'll be doing that, but also we're gonna be looking at all the meat distributions. We wanna really help with the depredation issues we're having amongst the reservation and the non-members. So we want to develop those kind of things where we can take that meat, get it processed, and get it processed like at Lidl's to get it out there. But also, I really want to teach people how to do this themselves. I mean, if you can harvest your own meat and then process it, you can have it, but that's further. I'm also like mine in little white packages too, that come from somewhere else. That's a lot of work. But we had an early discussion with Les and Barry about becoming kind of a distribution point for fish keepers. And I just want to get this, we have the turkey distribution, and then we have this one coming up. And then once this one's done, we're really going to develop a policy and a way to just be a distribution point for our lake trout. I want to make sure that we're careful as we distribute that food. So if you're living in, if this is your only protein source, I don't want people to get at risk of the mercury issues. So I want to make sure that I understand it really well, and that we're sending out that education piece to the membership as they're getting foods to make sure that they're within those safe levels. So I'm really excited to hear about that, the elk. So I would love to be able to get that good food to people. That's our food. And it will really help with the numbers that the issues we're having with our neighbors, I guess, or they're having with us, or the deer, whatever that looks like. I'm really, really super excited to formally announce that we wrote for a grant with the Indian Collection Grant, and we were awarded $200,000. I accidentally texted Jennifer, because I have two Jennifers in my phone, and she says, "That's really great." And I look, it's like, oh my gosh, oops. So with that, we're going to hire another position. We're going to create another position. It's going to be like the local food specialist. And in my mind, that person will be doing the meat depredation kind of activities and making sure we're getting those good foods into our freezers and getting them to our people. Doing the fish keepers, lake trout, the gardens are going to be a big thing. It's going to be a big garden.
So it's going to be a specialized position, something that you'll put the job description together for.
Absolutely. It's in the works right now, and I want to get it going pretty quickly so that way we can be ready for at least the spring, the garden. The garden's going to be big because we're going from a never garden before piece of property.
All right.
And yeah, just to add on to what Dana said, this is really exciting because we have all of the infrastructure to procure and distribute food, but this will be, I think, our avenue to producing our own food, whether it's game, or whether it's fish, or whether it's from gardens. This position will be specializing in getting our local foods out to our members. So we're pretty excited about that.
Well, not only that, this is so huge, so huge. It's really actually puts us on the trail to be a very true sovereign government, be able to provide our own food to our people. I hope
to see all you guys in any of these 8 gardens, because they're going to be kind of everywhere, and it's really exciting. There's something more than growing the food from seed to harvest. I mean, for me, when I started gardening, it was during the time I lost my mom and my nephew and all that kind of stuff, and it really did a lot of healing. So if you look at your 7 priorities you guys created, what can happen in the garden really touches a lot of those. You talk about addiction, mental health, homelessness, all those risk factors, economic development, all of those kind of things that we have as goals. If you go back to your food and how you procure it and what you do with it, it really is all connected. It's all interconnected. So I've got a lot of ideas rattling.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Dana, are you going to do any harvesting of bitterroot and camas and distribution?
I don't know about distribution yet, but that's a piece in the education part in my mind with this local food specialist and the team, because I don't think it's ever going to be just one person doing
And I
anything.
think you could get 40 wild turkeys out of a tree right next to my house. So.
Cool. I don't know how to process that. I could can it, bring it to me when it's in a bag, I can can that. But I'm really excited to see what we can do with this and where we're gonna go and including our families, children, travel members, employees. I mean, if you think about that one garden with 4, it really is, if we get enough people working these gardens, it's an hour a week of your time. So we can really grow a lot of food and have a really bad problem of having too much food to distribute, healthy food.
Yeah, okay.
And finally, just to give you guys an update of where we're at in the task force process, if you guys recall, we put together a task force at the beginning of last year to talk to all of our departments that are dealing with food in some capacity or another. And so there were probably about 40 people at that meeting. Since that time, we've been doing one-on-one interviews with the different departments just to see where they're at with their food, how we can be helpful with their food, and where they would like to go in the future with their food. And so those have been really productive interviews. We have one more scheduled for tomorrow. And I think we're done with those. Lindsay and Katie up in the legal department are helping us with that process. So we're going to put together a report, provide that back to the food sovereignty team that still meets every Wednesday afternoon at 12. If you guys would ever want to join, I know a few of you guys have. And then we'll bring that final report to council about how this pilot program can look in the future, perhaps as more of a permanent structure. So we'll be providing that report probably in the spring sometime would be, I think, realistic.
All right, sounds good.
We have one more issue. It's about a business proposal. I don't know if this is executive or open. It's about a fish pond proposal.
We're in open, but if you guys want to go into executive, we can.
It might be good just to, and I don't mind these, especially Barry, certainly Mark and Barry, certainly welcome to stay, but it might be good just to go into executive.
Let's go out of